Well, tomorrow it's showtime. It's about time for the Drumstick Dash. I'd like to quickly say that I'm thankful to be able to do this race tomorrow, and I'm thankful for my health and to be in a spot right now where I feel like I'm about to prosper big time in life. You know, this race was almost taken away from me actually because of the fact that my right foot decided to just want to act up on me months ago. Took me out for a while, but you know me long enough. I don't back down, I don't give up. That's a mantra that I always do my best to live by, even when the odds are stacked against me. And this year has been a bit tough. There's been a bit of adversity. Hasn't been all bad though. I've had some great success this year too. But I think it's fitting that I'm talking to you on this exact date, Wednesday, November 27th. It's ironic because today marks 8 years since I last talked to my mom. Now, why am I bringing her up, for instance? Well, it's simple. You know, my mom was once somebody that had respect, was respected, showed care, was diligent, and a leader. She hasn't possessed any of those qualities since 1999. Yeah, a whole quarter century. Go figure. You know, even without her in the mix for a long time in my life, I was just fine. Even with, some people trying to put me down, take me off my path, or other things trying to deter me. You know, it's not that easy to basically take my legs out from under me like that. You're gonna have to try a whole lot harder than that for me to go down. And trust me, in this day and age, there ain't no chance. Why? Because first off, faith runs strong in my family and life. Second off, I'd be damned if I let anybody take anything away from me. Entering 2025, I want to have the most successful, flourished year of my life possible. And it starts with building on bigger things than ever. That's why too, along in this mix, I'm finally going to have my opportunity to be on the air presenting the weather for the first time professionally, not in college, in the real world, this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's incredible. I'm super excited, but to get there, I gotta go through battle first tomorrow in this race. This race will feel a little more personal just because of the fact that I've had to fight real hard to get back to being in some sort of shape to race this event. But this race is bigger than any one person. I already won the Celebrity Challenge trophy. I'm just gonna go out there and do my best and have a good time doing it. But for myself, I want to continue to be the best leader I possibly can be. And to wrap this part up right here, I just want to say that I'm just very thankful as well that my dad raised me to be a good man, especially in a world that's filled with more evil than ever these days. No matter what, I'm going to always try and be a good leader, even when things look bleak. It's time for battle. Let's do this. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Storm Track 8 meteorologist Steven Deanna, and I am super excited to be able to present to you guys the weather for the first time professionally in my career, live here on the air in front of this nice green screen on the midday show from 11 a.m. to noon. If you do not have Wish TV yet, you can go to wishtv.com. We stream all of our shows on there as well. Big day. I'm excited. Let's talk about this cold and snow that's on the way, or it's already in the area right now. It's going to be real frigid going into December, but I will have all of that and the timing on your Saturday snow here soon.
And now let's take a look at this site right here. Okay, Steven, I was prepared for chilly temperatures, but this is now, I know Tara said flurries, but this is just looking like full-on snow.
Yes, definitely some steady state light snow happening, Jeremy. Cloudy skies. I mean, you look out the window right now, if you're just waking up late or whatever you're doing right now, you look at this picture, you're thinking, I'm not going outside today. No way.
It's not a good day to wear ankle socks, that's for sure. I did not wear full socks.
You talk about not managing dressing well. I'm a meteorologist, and I sometimes don't even do that as well. So you're not alone there, Jeremy, but you want to talk about the snow, you want to talk about the cold. Let's start with this, guys. We are 11 degrees colder than we were at this time yesterday. It's 27 as of 11 a.m. We were in the upper 30s. We struggled to get out of the 30s, as I was talking about earlier in the show. Now, temperatures reflect this picture across the entire state. It ain't just here in Indy we're feeling this cold. South Bend, you're at 23, Terre Haute to 29, 32 degrees in Bloomington. Wind chill values are definitely bitter out there. It's feeling like 11 in Lafayette, 10 in South Bend, even feeling like 8 degrees in Chicago. Areas to the south, a little bit more lucky, and I wish we can get more lucky in this forecast, but unfortunately I don't have good news for you there. We'll get to more on that later, but right now, current radar, seeing some of that snow, and Jeremy and I were just talking about. You can scan the QR code at the bottom left of your screen as well for the latest radar on your Storm Track 8 weather app. It'll give you up-to-date radar and timely for your location. Now let's zoom in for us with this hand tracker here. We're going to try and zoom in here to the state there. Having some issues doing it, but it's all good. So basically, snow is across central Indiana right now. Seeing some steady state light snow north of Indy, even through the Circle City as well. Snow will end later by tonight, but breezy winds are going to stick around as well. It's one thing we haven't even talked about yet, and that's what's going to make the wind chill feel worse. Gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour to the west will definitely make it feel better. And we got lots of plans. Sports action we were just talking about too. Tonight, if you're heading out to the Pacers-Pistons game, tip-off at 8 p.m., 25 for tip-off, and then 23 by game end. Now, tonight's low temperatures, the coldest night of the season is ahead. Mainly teens statewide, and we're going to wake up feeling bitter out there with some spots in the single digits Saturday morning. But we're also tracking some snow. Storm Track 8 Futurecast showing a dry start to Saturday. Dry air lingers through mid-morning before air saturates just enough to allow snow to enter portions of central and southern Indiana. A lot of the snow will be light, but it's possible we can see some moderate to heavy snow, mainly south of Interstate 70. And latest models have tracked snow closer to the I-70 corridor. This continues through the evening commute and even through the nighttime hours and into overnight. Now, I do want to mention, it's cold enough now to where snow will stick on pavement. That is very important to know if you're traveling tomorrow night, Sunday morning, because roads will be slick in spots. So tomorrow, after a bitter start to the day, only get to around freezing for our Saturday. Temperatures at 32 for the high. And if you're heading to the IU football game, the Old Oak and Bucket game against Purdue, after IU's having a successful season, trying to cap that off with a win here, 30 for kickoff at 7 p.m., 28 at 9. Snow is likely. Snow in football games is the best. You cannot beat that. But unfortunately, we're not going to beat the cold, though. Some areas north for your Saturday in the 20s as well. A little bit closer to the 40s, closer to the Ohio River. We're going to repeat the process again for Sunday. We'll start feeling like the single digits to teens, and we'll rise into the upper 20s to lower 30s. Hensley Lou Group 7-day extended forecast. Of course, once again, that chance for snow on Saturday, at most looking at possibly trace to an inch. Highs getting back into the lower 40s middle of next week with more rain snow chances as well in the mix. Guys, I can't even begin to explain to you just how the last 36 hours have really been for myself. It's like experiencing it is really the only way to fully understand just how incredible it's been the past day and a half with going through the race, then being on the air today. That I still can't believe that happened, but you know, made it happen today. It's something. I'm at a loss for words for it still, to be honest with you guys. But yep, gonna take a couple of extra days, of course, as you'll see in the next part of this video, with the with getting together this race recap, the Drumstick Dash. We'll fast forward to that. Wow, man, it is just whipping through. Oh! Alright everyone, it's Tuesday, December 10th. I'm sorry that it's been a week and a half since the race and I haven't done a recap in general yet. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to try and keep it more short and simple because my expectations were not really high. It was more or less to be out there and race for what is a tremendous cause, something that tries to end not only a local problem, but something that's much bigger than just locally, of course, to end hunger, end homelessness. Wheeler Mission is for a great cause, and they're a great organization. But yeah, leading into the race, though, it was like I was just thankful to be able to like get myself in position just good enough to be able to partake in this event. Now, the plan, it didn't totally go to plan, but it was like, it wasn't off by much really with the end result. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a fast race. Originally, back in like much earlier in the year, I'm talking like the first quarter of the year, I was like, I'm going to run under 35 minutes in this race. And of course, I'm nowhere near that shape right now. Matter of fact, it might be a while before I get back to that point. We'll see. I'll talk more about that in the series closing episode of this entire training series. But so basically, the forecast wasn't bad. It was chilly. But once you started running, if you were bundled up enough, you were fine. Damp pavement, but it just rained the day before. Overall, it was more cloudy than I thought it was going to be. Actually, I did think there was potential for some sunshine, but no, never came through really. But it's okay. First 2 miles were under 20 minutes, surprisingly enough. I think it was like 1954. I think I crossed through 2 mile mark in roughly. That's kind of 1950 to 1954, somewhere in there was the first 2 miles. Then I had to walk a bit after 2.5 miles because I don't know what happened there, like the week of November 18th, but after that, it was like, after that run on November 15th, it was like I struggled to even get back to 3 miles. I don't know if I had some like underlying minor sickness. I thought I was getting sick that week, but then it was like by the following week on Thanksgiving week, I was like not feeling sick. I don't know. It was weird. Definitely a weird thing. I don't know if it was just I don't know if it was just mind games or what it was, but yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I finished. That's all that matters. I mean, it was a slower time than what I normally am accustomed to, or should I say, what you guys are typically accustomed to me running? Because I typically run quicker in these events, especially in the last few years, where I have really tried to be better than I ever have after years of struggle. Or not years, a couple years of struggle there from 2018 through 2020. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with finishing. That's all that mattered to me. Even if it took a bit of a struggle fest in the second half of the race, what matters to me is just having that pride of being able to cross the finish line and to know that I didn't have to DNF this time. Thankfully, too, my lower back was not of concern. That was a problem earlier on in the cycle because getting back into it was rough with that, especially. Like, most runs, I'd just be feeling it. Like, at some, like, probably 15, 20 minutes into it, I'm just like, ugh, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm 45 years old running out here or something like that? And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm not even going to be putting myself through this. No freaking way, dude. But at the end, it is what it is. Like, it must have resolved itself over time. Well, now I'm probably going to have to go on another extended break again. I'll mention more on that in the final episode of the series. But yeah, congrats to everyone who finished. It was a tough walk back to the car. Matter of fact, right after the race, I actually kicked it pretty hard in the last minute of my race, or the race. Sorry, not my race, but I actually had to sit down on the curb there. There's like a curb divider in the road where we finished at, and I sat there for a minute. I kind of like was keeled over like this with my head and my arm like that, just trying to regroup. And it's kind of one of those things where like weight lifted off my shoulder or something like that. I wasn't like dizzy or about to pass out. I was just more in like the regroup phase because I kicked it really hard too, and I was just kind of like wanting to finish strong, like I usually always try to do with anything. But this kind woman actually helped me out, got me up, and got me to the A10. I had never been to the A10 after a race. That was the first time that had ever happened in my 11 years of running. Again, I didn't have a medical emergency or anything like that. But I just needed a minute to get myself back to my equilibrium, I guess. But now she helped me over. As soon as she got me up, though, I will tell you what, I started having a head rush because I got up, I think, a little bit quickly. And it was hard for me to kind of move for a second because I had just been in this position for a little bit. And so that definitely kind of, I think my body in general lagged on the response because I definitely didn't feel right getting up for a second. But again, I was fine. Got some water and a banana. Sat there, decided to just take a chill pill. The breeze was a problem, though. I'll tell you what, especially coming back to my truck, we had to walk like a good quarter mile back to where we parked at, and I was actually borderline freezing. After the race, I was cold, very, very cold, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm out of here. But it is what it is. 45:16 was the time. Again, though, it didn't matter. Time didn't matter to me. Place surely didn't matter to me. All that mattered to me was doing the race, doing it for a profound overall situation, and that's what mattered to me at the end of the day, because I wanted to make sure that I got to take part in something that is special, that gathers a bunch of people around, especially for a holiday that it features being very thankful for things and being giving. Hence why we call it Thanksgiving. But so yeah, I think that'll conclude episode 11 of the Stormfront. Yeah, I haven't ran since the race, and I've been strength training a little bit. I will say. Gonna be strength training, but I gotta be careful with what I do and how I do it with my movements. Stay tuned for the series finale, which I will record tomorrow actually, but you probably won't see it until late this week. Also, guys, stay tuned. I have a ton of content coming your way. I got everything from doing some recaps from earlier in the year with weather stuff, playoff picks for college football, and then of course, ultimately, I'll be doing my 2024 year recap in 2 parts. Of course, divided within the first half of the year for one video, and then the second half of the year for another video. Also, too, I still have got to put out the big video that I never got out in early April this year. Stay tuned for that next week, because I think I'm going to have it out hopefully by next week, and that's the hope. I'm going to work hard to get that out. I'm not going to say what it is. It is a surprise. You guys will know once it drops sometime next week, hopefully before Friday next week. I'm going to try to do it before then. So yeah, without further ado, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for being along with me on this journey. I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to do this kind of stuff with next year, especially with like integrating the next like series thing, or just do some like more of like update videos in terms of like amalgamations of videos, or basically a collection of videos strung together. So I don't know. We'll talk more about it later on, but take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the series finale.